Hey guys, Brent Campbell again, almost to the Porsche Experience Center. I sat through a presentation from the COO of Porsche North America, and it sparked the idea to come out here. I watched Larry Casilla's video about it on Ammo NYC, touring the facility on the way to pick up his Taycan. Anyway, I'm pulling in here and we are right by the Atlanta airport, which is the busiest airport in the world. So you're flying down from New York, you could hypothetically come here for the day and just turn right around, go to ATL, and then fly back. No big deal. Amazing. Okay, let's check it out. The Porsche Experience Center in Atlanta is one of just 5 such centers in the world. The others in LA, Leipzig, Germany, Silverstone in the UK, and Shanghai. The center features a 1.6-mile driver development track, a handling circuit, an off-road course, and a skid pad, all of which are designed to test the limits of both the car and driver. It has 16 turns, including a banked corner and elevation changes. You can choose your driving experience with 1 hour, a half day, or a full day, driving a variety of 911s, Taycans, Boxsters, or Caymans. Meandering downstairs, you can peer into the Porsche Classic factory restoration workshop staffed by certified technicians who specialize in restoring classic Porsches. The only limit to what they'll do is the size of your wallet. Then the Heritage Gallery, which features a rotating selection of historic Porsche cars and interactive exhibits that explore the brand's history. I'll do my best here to identify the cars. First is a 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7. This is one of the most iconic Porsche 911 models ever produced and is known for its distinctive ducktail rear spoiler. Then the 906 race car, which used a space frame and fiberglass body to save weight. Obviously, this is a badass 911 race car, but I can't tell you which one. Then there's Larry's favorite, a 1993 968 in Tahoe Blue. An architecture buff, naturally I couldn't get enough of this scale model. Next, my eyes of course went to the Carrera GT. Either this or the Lexus LFA, both of them V10s, in my opinion, is the best car ever made. The blue car, which I hardly noticed, is probably a 1955 550 Spyder. These made a whopping 110 horsepower, but were very lightweight and massively successful on the racing circuit. One of them sold for over $4 million last year. Naturally, Jerry Seinfeld has one. This 935 from the late 1970s makes 800 horsepower and will go 220 miles an hour. Paul Newman raced one back in the day. I don't have a clue what these race cars are, but I imagine they're fast as hell. This humble Boxster here, turns out, was the very first example produced. All right. That was awesome. So yes, that is quite a facility, mostly an event space, track, for those who are willing to spend a whole lot more money than I am. It's a hell of a good time. Been to the BMW Performance Driving Center and done the M School. Always with my brother, of course. So you walk through the opening area, everything is beautifully designed to the standard that you would expect for a high-end sports car company like Porsche. Really, that facility is a brilliant branding exercise for them. Certainly that's the only way they could justify the expense, I'm sure. It's beautiful, it's very well appointed. I went in there with my cameras and they had no problem with me being there because they know it's free advertising for them, and of course I'm not going to say anything but good things, despite the fact that I'm wearing an M shirt and an M hat. We're all enthusiasts to German cars here after all. So again, you walk into the main facility and I'll be able to show you some of the cool things that were there, like this sculpture of a 918 that's very cleverly packaged. There's the wall showcasing every Porsche ever made with these little models. Although I saw some exceptions. I didn't see some of the, like the first generation Boxster, I didn't see every Cayenne, I didn't see every generation of the 911 represented, so it seems like there are some that are missing there, but still, it's overwhelming and it's fascinating to see
the timeline of Porsche starting, it was in 1948 with a 356 Speedster all the way up to present day, and then the timeline goes all the way to the future to 2035, which is how far ahead that they're thinking. Of course, I grew up in the 1980s, which was generally a very good time for Porsche. In the early half of the 90s, Porsche was struggling. In fact, Mercedes-Benz 500e was built by Porsche in a Porsche facility, just as the Audi S2 was built by Porsche as well. And this is in part because Porsche was desperate. They needed the business wherever they could get it. It's a wonderful thing that they got to do that, but you can really see as you look at their racing, the amount of new models coming out, the early 90s were a rough time for Porsche. But with the release of the Boxster and then later on in 2004 with the Cayenne, well, their fortunes changed pretty dramatically. So SUVs saved the sports car company. Much as I'm not an SUV fan, I do appreciate the fact that SUVs have made it possible for them to develop their halo brands like M for the case of BMW, AMG for Mercedes-Benz, the S-Line for Audi, and then of course in the case of Porsche, their myriad sporting variations that can get quite expensive up into Ferrari territory, which is a thing that I'm not so crazy about, but at the same time, I get it. Car companies are there to make money, not to please enthusiasts. Wow, so exciting. And then you get to take a look at the track. It would be fantastic to get to have a day there or more. It'd be great to be able to pick up my $200,000, I don't know, 911 GT3 RS or 911 GT2 RS, GT4, whatever. Because really, if you have a car that is capable as those cars are, you really need to know how to drive them because they are scary fast now. They are scary capable. And in the wrong hands, you could get yourself into a whole lot of trouble. So if you're gonna buy a car like that, frankly, I consider it an imperative to go have a driving experience like that where you get to drive a car the same model, the same spec as what you bought. At least that's how it works for BMW. They have a simulator and I think it would be pretty exciting. So maybe my brother and I can come back in a few months and do the simulator together. I think that we would really enjoy that. That'd be a fun day. And of course, as best I can, I'll try to make a video about it. I also very much got a kick out of seeing the many customization options that you have there. And by the way, in a few days, I'm driving up to Greer or Spartanburg, South Carolina to see the BMW facility. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.